The government has been accused of cooking the books to cut asylum backlogs as thousands of the claims are removed from the system. We're going to have a look at this exclusive from The Independent, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an exclusive from The Independent with the headline that the governments are cooking the books to cut backlog as thousands of claims removed from the system. So the exclusive says that a number of applicants withdrawn by the Home Office quadrupled after Rishi Sunak's pledge, with 6,000 have been removed from the list in 3 months. In 3 months, they've removed 6,000 from the list. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we've always constantly hearing that they are lacking in civil servants to process these claims. And this seems to me like just a way of trying to get out of having to process these asylums and kind of just letting them go, letting them wander off into the country, which I think is wrong. We need to know where they are, and we need to know that they're okay. We need to know they're not been kidnapped, potentially, because that can potentially be happened. They could end up into the wrong kinds of people. People need to be looked after, and they shouldn't just be ignored and written off just because you're trying to get some targets on your system. But let's read a little bit more into it. So again, this is exclusive from The Independent, so it is one source, but we'll see. So Rishi Sunak has been accused of cooking the books as thousands of asylum claims are removed from the system following its vow to clear a historic backlog by the end of the year. More than 6,000 people have been wiped off the list without being fully assessed in just 3 months for reasons such as failing to attend interviews or appointments and not filling its new fast-track questionnaire. Okay, so right off the back there, so claiming that some so because some of them have not turned up to interviews or appointments and not filling in its new fast track questionnaire, they've kind of just assumed that they're gone, and they've written them off the list just like that. I mean, and of course about the vow to clear the historic backlog by the end of the year is just not going to happen. Like, unless he's not going to process all of them. The fact that, you know, this is a very worrying thing, because these are not just people with a number. They're not just a number. These are every single person here is a human being, the emotions and feelings. The vast majority of them want to work, want to contribute to the UK society, and they should be allowed to do so. Their process should be made, and whether or not they are allowed to come into the UK or not allowed to come into the UK. There are many solutions to solve this, and this is not one of them. One of them, such as hiring more civil servants to process these claims, as an example. Another way we could help you mitigate the stopping the boats, of course, is to set up an asylum centre in Calais on the other side of the waters, so that their processes can be made before having to make this audacious trip across the Thames, throwing away all their money for the smugglers, for example, as well. So there are lots of better options. The figures have quadrupled since the Prime Minister pledged in December to clear the pre-June 2022 asylum backlog. The government is now withdrawing more claims than it decides, sparking accusations the backlog is being cut by the back door. So they're claiming, they're saying that they're withdrawing more than it decides. That's just horrible. So officials' guidance seen by the Independent states that applications could be withdrawn by the Home Office without the asylum seekers' consent, even if they are unable to contact them and does not know where they are without a notification letter served or filed open. So they take them off even though they don't even know about it as well. You know, what if that person is in trouble? What if that person is in danger? What if they need help? Oh, well, there's no one to be found there. Oh, what happened to that person? Oh, I don't know. Well, they were on your system. Well, I don't know. That could somebody's life be in danger there, and we don't know as well. Once removed from the system, people are eligible for the housing and financial support offered by the destitute asylum seekers, with a Tory MP warning that they can disappear without a trace. Exactly. Labour have accused the governments of cooking the books to reduce backlog numbers, while charities accuse ministers of leaving asylum seekers at the risk of deportation and homelessness. Exactly. Yeah. Conservative MP Craig McCanley told The Independent this seems to be an amnesty on the back door and yet another loophole allowing many thousands of potential asylum claimants, with or without valid claims, to just disappear into the underground economic without a trace. The use of tactics has rocketed since the Prime Minister's pledge to clear the 92,000 asylum applications waiting by June 2022 by the end of this year. This is so frustrating. The ignorance of this Conservative government is just beyond belief. Just being left, like, of the fact that some of them could be deported back, even though their claim is perfectly alright. They've been written off the system because, unfortunately, for what? They missed one appointment or something. Talk about, you know, where is the humanity? None whatsoever. In the 3 months before Mr. Sunak made his vow, 397 asylum claims were withdrawn by the Home Office officials without the applicant's consent, but between January and March the number rocketed to 2,029. So it jumped by 1,700 or so. Jesus. The government made a further 4,039 asylum withdrawals in the period for other reasons, including when someone formally consented. Only 5,800 cases were fully decided in that time, with 4,000 people granted protection and 1,800 claims refused. A Home Office official told The Independent that failures to attend asylum interviews or report to an immigration centre were being used a lot to trigger withdrawals. This is basically bringing the backlog down, they added. A lot of interviews were booked to withdraw as many claims as possible, and if people didn't turn up. Yeah, so basically, as soon as if they don't turn up, they write them off the system. Official figures suggest the tactics being mainly used against Albanians, but Afghans are the next highest nationality affected, and Syrians, Iranians, Afghans and Iraqis are also being caught in the process. Middle East. A lot of Middle East nations here. Stephen Kinnock, the shadow immigration chair, said the government had created a backlog itself by slowing down asylum decisions. The Conservative government is cooking the books and not being honest with the people, he added. They need to come clean with how many of these withdrawal asylum seekers are simply getting the green light to drift off into Britain's underground economic, never to be heard again, or how many are being removed from the UK. Yeah, this is going to cost us taxpayers as well. This is actually going to cost us taxpayers if they're going into the underground economics as well. It's going to cost us down the road. Taxpayers' money. It's going to cost us this decision as well. All because of wanting to make some numbers, guys, to say, yay, look, we cleared this backlog. It's going to cost us money, taxpayers' money, as if we already are not paying enough as it is. We will be paying this back. The damage that's being caused here, we were going to be paying this back. A National Audit Office report published in June suggests the drive was intensifying further, with almost 3/4 of the asylum outcomes in April recorded as withdrawals. It found that Albanians were being specifically targeted with the tactic, saying it was requiring them to physically report to the Home Office officials and then withdrawing their claim if they do not turn up without a good reason. Steve Smith, the chief executive of the refugee charity Care for Callous, said the government should not be clearing the backlogs through backdoor withdrawals, which are leaving thousands of people with no future. The way refugees engage with the asylum process hasn't changed, so why have the withdrawals quadrupled since Rishi Sunak pledged to clear his government's own legacy backlog, he asked. Behind every claim is a real person, and the reality is that refugees left with no asylum claims are even more vulnerable to exploitation. Exactly. We just said this. Out of the 2,029 involuntary withdrawals in the first 3 months of this year, almost 1,400 were Albanian claimants, 92 were Afghans, 36 were Syrians, and smaller number nationalities include Iraq, Iranian, and Yemenis. Home Office's official states the policy targets people who show no real interest in pursuing their claim by failing to comply with the process, failing to provide up-to-date contact details, abdicating or leaving the UK without permission before a decision. Triggers listed for withdrawals including failure to complete an asylum questionnaire, failure to attend a reporting event, failure to attend a substantial asylum interview, and abdicating. The guidance says claims should be removed unless asylum seekers can provide evidence in their absence due to circumstances beyond their control, such as medical appointments or travel disruption. So here, where is this statistic from? Well, this is probably so this is from the Home Office, this statistic here, if we got in front of us, this graph. Figure 6, the number of applications awaiting an initial decision. as of March 31st, 2014 to 2023 here. So if you can see here on the graph, guys, so yeah, 31st of March 2014, 16,000 guys, and the following year it went down, 4,000 cleared, went down to 12,000, which was good, but that was the last time it went properly down. The following year, 19,000, following year, 20,000, following year, 22,000, 30,000, jumped by 8,000. 2018, 2019, 8,000. Then jumped by 10,000 from 30,000 to 40,000. Numbers going up. 12,000 in between 2020 and 2021, from 40,000 to 52,000. And then from 2021 to 2022, over 30,000 or so. Yeah, more than 35,000 or so jumped. This is under the Conservative watch, by the way, yeah, who claim to be dealing with asylum seekers, guys. And then from 89,000 so far this year, 133,000. What an outrageous statistic. All these people. I think it's bad enough, yeah, that it's like 30,000, 20,000, but 133. That is absolutely despicable, guys. The total assigned backlog has hit a new record high. People must be issued a formal warning and offered a new appointments before the process starts, normally following a 2 no-show. But charities are very concerned about the Home Office areas seeing communications to send to old addresses and low financial support, leaving asylum seekers struggling to travel to appointments. Asylum Aid said it was particularly troubling that the failure to return fast-track questionnaires was being used as a bias for withdrawal, when the forms were being sent in English under very short time frames for people who may not be able to access legal advice. Exactly. They're looking for any excuse to get them off the books. Director Alison Pickup added, "We've seen our own caseload real problems with the Home Office record keeping around the questionnaire process, and there are serious concerns about the fairness of these decisions, which can result in people being sent back to their countries where they are in danger without any substance consideration or their claim of right of appeal." Tim Nower Hilton, Chief Executive of Refugee Action, calls the situation extremely concerning. It means that many people will wait even longer for a decision on their claim, during which time they live in limbo on very low levels of support with no right to work in a terrible housing, he added. The Home Office said it was making efforts to deport people whose claims have been withdrawn, although the only operational returns agreement is with Albania. Yeah, they're making great progress, guys. Great progress. Great progress. As you can clearly see, guys, they're making great progress. What does this mean? This is despicable, guys. These people are being left to fend for themselves. I already said how dangerous this can be, and they could end up being deported without even their process being fully processed as well. It's a desperate attempt from the government, just like it was a desperate attempt because they didn't want to deal with the whole Brexit fiasco of the exports and imports deals that they have to deal with the EU. It's another attempt for them to mitigate their responsibilities as a government to look after these people. They are desperately trying to get them off the books and make it someone else's problem. Again, advocating their responsibility and ownership. It's despicable and it's wrong, and I feel nothing but sympathy for these people who are having to go through all this right now. What do you guys make of this? Are you surprised by this from The Independent? Are you surprised that Rishi Sunak is cooking the books? Because I'm not actually surprised at this point. I think he's actually probably a bit more despicable than Liz Truss now. The more I think about it, the more that things that are going on. You know, the way that things that are going on in this government in comparison to when Liz Truss was in it. Yes, she crashed the economy. Yeah, and that was, her and Kwasi Kwarteng were absolutely crazy for that. But the more that Rishi Sunak is in office, the more I just feel that people's lives are being damaged with him in charge. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe as always, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.